Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Voice of British Orthodoxy. Today is the 2nd of August, as according to the old calendar. I'm, of course, Rida Lazar. And before we do start the entry, yesterday there was a entry for St. Riok from the 5th century, who I have placed in the description of yesterday's video. So, in case you're wondering why I only read the book entry, yeah. Anyway, we've got a couple of saints. We've got 3 saints overall today, one of which has a Troparion. Don't think the Troparion actually comes up in the group chat, though, so I will be reading that just from the book. I will start off with the saint that's not actually in the group chat and is only in the book. So that is Saint Sidwell, also known as Sativola. Date is uncertain. Saint Sidwell is believed to have lived in the west of England. Her date is uncertain. She was most likely of British rather than Anglo-Saxon ancestry. There are several churches dedicated to her in Devonshire, England, primarily in the Exeter area. Unfortunately, there is no historical record of her life, nor any information about her martyrdom, though one legend claims she was beheaded by reapers incited by her stepmother. Wasn't she covered yesterday? Yeah, she was covered yesterday, but yeah, apparently, she's the Saint Sidwell that was covered yesterday, but yeah, the book and thingy have different dates. Anyway, our next saint of the day is Saint Ethelwolda, also known as Elfreda, and she is from the 9th century. Saint Ethelwolda was the daughter of King Arthur and Queen Quendreda of Mercia. Saint Ethelwolda was betrothed to Saint Ethelbert, who we commemorate back on the 20th of May, King of the East Angles. However, Queen Quendreda had King Saint Ethelbert assassinated and his body secretly buried, so that her brother could ascend to the throne. Following the martyrdom of King Saint Ethelbert, Saint Ethelwolda entered the monastery of Saint Guthlac, who we commemorate back on the 11th of April, in Croyland. She lived there as an anchoress in her cell in the south part of the church, opposite the high altar for 40 years until her repose, circa AD 835. Her group chat entry is a little bit longer. Saint Ethelwolda, also known as Elfreda, was a Mercian princess and the daughter of King Offa of Mercia and consort Sinfrith. She was born in 795 AD in Mercia, which is in modern-day England. Saint Ethelwolda was betrothed to Saint Ethelbert, King of East Anglia, a noble prince known for his piety and devotion. The marriage was arranged to strengthen political ties between the kingdoms of Mercia and East Anglia. Tragedy struck when Ethelbert travelled to Offa's court at Sutton Walls in 793 or 94 to finalise the marriage. According to historical accounts, he was murdered by Wimbert, a court officer, upon arriving at the palace after being tricked into surrendering his sword. The murder is attributed to the treachery of King Offa's wife, Sinfrith, who allegedly feared Ethelbert's intentions and sought to eliminate him to secure her brother Egfrid's claim to the East Anglian throne. Some sources suggest King Offa himself may have been involved, though others place the blame solely on the Queen. Horrified by the murder of her fiancé, Ethelwolda fled the court and retired to Crowland in Lincolnshire Marches, where she lived as a Benedictine anchoress for approximately 40 years. She resided in a small cell attached to the church, dedicating her life to prayer, meditation, and contemplation, embodying the virtues of chastity, humility, and self-sacrifice. She became renowned for her spiritual guidance and prophetic abilities. Our next entry for today is Saint Plegmund, and I think I'm going to read his group chat entry first. So his entry in the group chat, is Saint Plegmund, the tutor of King Saint Alfred, and 20th Archbishop of Canterbury, 914 AD. St. Plegmund was an English Archbishop of Canterbury born in Mercia, England. Plegmundham, later Plenstal, is named after him. His reputation as a scholar attracted the attention of King St. Alfred the Great, who summoned him to his court before 887 to assist in the administrative affairs of the kingdom and to help translate religious works. He played a key role in translating Pope Gregory the Great's treatise Pastoral Care into Old English alongside other scholars. In 890, at the request of King Alfred, Plegmund was consecrated Archbishop of Canterbury by Pope Formosus in Rome. He was the first Archbishop of Canterbury to visit Rome in an earlier century. He crowned Alfred's son, Edward the Elder, as king in 901 and dedicated the tower of the new minster at Winchester in 909. Plegmund travelled to Rome again in 908, likely to secure approval of his bishopric from Pope Sergius III, as the consecrations of Pope Formosus had been annulled. During this journey, he returned with relics of Saint Blaise. Anyway, as Archbishop, Plegmund organised the Diocese of Winchester, creating 4 new bishoprics: Crediton, later Exeter, Ramsden, Sherborne, and Wells, each serving a specific shire in Wessex. His episcopacy was known for promoting learning and strengthening Canterbury's metropolitan jurisdiction. He is also credited with possibly contributing to the compilation of the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. Although he attracted no hagiographer, he remains a significant figure in the history of the Orthodox Church in England. A holy well near Plumstead, Cheshire, is named after him and is associated with his hermit life and possible baptisms. And his book entry goes as follows. Little is known of St. Plegmund's early life. As an adult, he developed a reputation as a scholar which caught the attention of King St. Alfred the Great. St. Alfred the Great is a saint, so I will be referring to him as saint here, who summoned St. Plegmund to court to help in the king's undertaking to revive scholarship in his realm. Later in AD 890, King Alfred the Great selected him to be the 20th Archbishop of Canterbury. During St. Plegmund's episcopate, he worked to restore the English Church in general, and the authority of the See of Canterbury in particular, which had been weakened by the Viking invasions. St. Plegmund reorganised the Diocese of Winchester and created 4 new sees: Crediton, Ramsbury, Sherborne, and Wells, and worked with other scholars in translating religious works. St. Plegmund reposed in AD 914. And his Troparion is sung in tone 5 and goes as follows. The solitary life of stillness and contemplation didst thou leave behind in Cheshire when thou was called by God and King to become the primate of the church in Canterbury. O blessed one, yet thou hast left us thy most sacred well as a token of the mystery of the holy baptism, and surely of thine abiding care. O holy Bishop Plegmund, never cease to pray that our souls be saved. Thank you all for watching. I've been Rita Lazar. I hope you all had a wonderful day. If you are on the new calendar, I hope you had a blessed Domitian yesterday. Wait, was it yesterday or today that there was a Divine Liturgy? I'm pretty sure there was a Divine Liturgy this morning, right? At the various new calendar churches. Anyway, either way, I hope you had a great service anyway. God bless you all. I've been Rita Lazar. I will see you all tomorrow. God bless you all, and amen.